Hey guys, Effie here. Today I'll be making this card using our loose roses stamp set. Now I had already gone ahead and stamped these images and colored them while I was away this weekend, so I didn't get to shoot the coloring of most of the roses, but I had one lone rose left and I did watercolor this rose during an Instagram live, so I'm just reusing the footage which I have edited for this YouTube video. I figured I can kill two birds with one stone. Really, all I'm doing is just watercoloring this gorgeous rose image. I started off by wetting the area that I want to paint first with some clean water. Then I applied a little bit of Ken Oliver Colorburst pigment. I'm using Peony for the first layer of color, and then Wisteria for that darker shading. And I'm using two Pentel fine tip aqua brushes, and actually I'm using three fine tip aqua brushes, one to apply the peony pigment, another one for the clean water, and another one for the wisteria. I actually used the clean brush to blend the color out. I started off by painting the area with the peony color burst, and then I dropped in a little bit of the wisteria, but I found that it made the petal a little too dark. So what I did was I changed it up and I just painted the entire or the rest of the image with the peony, and then I added that second layer of color, the wisteria, after I finished coloring the image with the peony. So there are two levels of color on my rose image. You don't have to add the additional shading using the wisteria. The image actually looks really pretty with just the one single layer of peony color, but I actually wanted to create a nice dimensional two-tone look with the two colorburst powders. So once I finished coloring my larger rose, I just went ahead and colored in the two buds using the same colorburst powders, and then for my leaves I used a little bit of sap green and lime green. So I don't do this on camera, but I did stamp additional foliage on watercolor paper off camera because I needed more foliage for my finished project. So after I painted everything, I set my panel aside to dry completely, and then I die cut everything using the coordinating dies. I forgot to mention earlier that the watercolor paper that I'm using is Canson XL 140-pound paper. Once all of my loose roses were die cut, I took our Geo Mountain Coverplate C die and I die cut this pattern onto some white cardstock. So to die cut a coverplate die, you just lay your A2 size card panel onto the cut side and then you just tape that cardstock onto the die. And I actually use the extra metal shim that comes with the Gemini Junior because this is a more intricate die. You want to make sure everything gets cut through the one pass. So once I popped out all the little pieces with my X-Acto knife, I just glued on this die cut onto a side folding A2 card base. Next, I'm going to start popping up all of my roses, and I just use little foam squares that I place in the center of all of my florals, and then I'm just going to start positioning my roses. Now, I kind of go back and forth with the positioning, but once I was satisfied with where my roses were, I started applying all of the foliage. And this is why you only want to use a tiny foam square when you're applying your florals, because you need some space behind your florals to position all the leaves behind the flowers. Next, I stamp my sentiment using our Caviar hybrid crisp black dye ink, and I stamped it onto white cardstock and I fussy cut the sentiment out, and then I popped up the rest of the remaining buds, and then I added additional foam tape behind the rest of my florals and leaves that needed some extra support. Lastly, I added some of our glass slipper sequins around my card front to finish off my card, and that is it for my card today. I hope you all enjoyed my video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel because I update it on a weekly basis with some more inspiration using all of our stamps and dies from our collection. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!